Welcome to the final video in this series looking at essential lessons for new or beginner golfers. Today we've talked about the golf club, we've talked about contact. We're now going to cover exactly what the body should do and how it should move in the golf swing. Welcome back to the Forest of Arden. You've joined me out on the Arden course, and this is the third video in a short series looking at some of the essential lessons that a new or beginner golfer needs to help them develop and improve their game at a pretty high rate. If you haven't seen the first two videos, I'll link them here in the corner. I will also link them in the description box down below, so make sure you check out those first if you haven't already seen those. Finally, if you're new to my channel, I would love you to be a subscriber. There is a clickable link in the description box down below, or at the end of the video, there's a clickable link at the end, which will kind of appear in the top right-hand screen. Would love you to be a subscriber. Join me on my channel, and hopefully we can help you play some better golf going forwards. Essential lessons for beginners. We've covered contact and kind of the concept of how we play golf. We've talked a little bit about how the golf club moves around your body. And so in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the body itself. And so what we're really going to do, what hopefully will have happened after this little short video series, you've got a great idea of actually how to make contact with a golf ball. You've got a really good idea about how the golf club works, and you've got a really good idea about how the body works. And effectively, we've got the kind of essentials there of a basic golf swing motion. Obviously, lots of things we need to add and layer up from there, but it's a great start. So as we're talking about the body, we're going to get rid of the golf club to begin with. Now, we're going to quickly go through a couple of things. When I stand up normally, so this, let's say, is my neutral posture, I've got kind of three movements that can happen from sort of, let's say, waist up. I can actually bend myself forward, or I can arch myself backwards. I can rotate one way, or I can rotate the other way. And I can actually bend over to one side or bend over to the other side. So I've got kind of three movements I can do. And unfortunately, you know where this is going to go. In a good backswing, all those three things happen. That's why the rotation, or the pivot as we call it, is very, very difficult for a lot of golfers to get correct. So what do we see unfortunately happening? Well, golfers get told that the backswing is a turn. It's just a turn, and it's not just a turn. So what happens very, very often is let's say we get this golfer set up really nicely, very well organized, and if they're told that it's just a turn, we very often get the backswing looking like this, where you can see from that face on camera, my head has moved significantly off the ball. And from the down the line camera, you'll probably see that my shoulders are relatively level. There's not a lot of angle in those shoulders. If we compare that to what a good backswing would look like, you can see very different. The head has stayed much more over the ball. And from this angle here, the shoulders are very much on an angle. Now, we said at the start there was three things that happen in the body. We're not going to get you to think of those three things because it doesn't really help. What we are going to get you to is a simple drill which will help you kind of incorporate all those movements. You're going to take your posture, take your golf club, and just pop it across your shoulders as I've done here. Now, what I really want you to feel as an idea, and this might not happen in reality, but the feeling is really going to help you, is you're going to keep your head right between your heels, and you're going to get the grip end of this golf club to point at the golf ball. So let me show you what we tend to see from those newer golfers who get told to turn. They would do this. Now straight away I can see that my head hasn't stayed between my feet and the grip points nowhere near the golf ball. If I try and keep my head between my feet and I point the grip down at the ball, I start to get some of those things happening we really want. Nice centered turn, angle across the shoulders, and that's a really, really great starting point for you. Now, like I said, it doesn't have to point directly at the golf ball because that would almost be too steep, but it's the feeling and the idea and the concept of almost having this lead shoulder moving more down towards the ground. As the right shoulder moves further away from the ground, that puts that angle in the shoulders, that keeps us much more centered over the golf ball, and that is effectively how we rotate or how we pivot in the golf swing. As we said in that second video, this is applicable to all of the golf clubs you bag. It doesn't change whether it's a wedge, an iron, a three-wood, a driver. The same concept applies. Really common is for us to see newer golfers have these poor movements of the body, and it becomes very difficult to then deliver the club consistently, like we talked about in that first video. So all these videos kind of link together, and you almost want to have really good idea and really clear concepts of what we're trying to do. So let's go ahead and put those together. Let's see if I can hit this. I've only got a 7-iron, but I'm going to go head between my feet, shoulder points down at the ball. And if we go back to the first video, I did that thing that I wanted to do, was hit the ball, hit the ground afterwards, so then my strike was good. my body rotation was good, and the golf club would have moved to the inside and opened and moved back to the inside and closed. So all the three things we spoke about in this video series incorporated into that golf swing, and if you can do those things, you can really start to develop as a golfer and progress in this game, which is very, very difficult to do. But hopefully the things that we've covered today are going to help you do that. Right, thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below, comments box, like button, and also, as we said, clickable link over in this corner. Would love you to be part of my channel, and hopefully we can help you play some better golf this year. Thanks for watching.